Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back your lovely faces to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that happened recently, which is Aquaman 2 has actually done a couple of reshoots. Now, we have been talking about this over on Twitter, and it's more than likely due to action sequences. And with the Flash bombing so hard in the theaters, which is brilliant, I must say, because when you have someone who is a troublemaker, and that person is the star of a $200 million plus movie, you're going to get trouble from people who are like, yeah, we're not going to watch him. We're not. How can you enable someone like this? And according to a lot of places now, it seems like they're starting to put two and two together regarding Aquaman 2 and her. So, Aquaman 2 to finally remove AH. Big financial blow as budget to go beyond $205 million with all new reshoots. It looks like Warner Brothers has finally learned a lesson after The Flash and refuses to let the same fate be witnessed by Aquaman 2. Johnny Depp witnessed a huge blow when he was ousted from Fantastic Beasts 3 after the loss of the UK trial against The Sun. Those claims made him suffer a lot financially and in terms of his Hollywood career. I do like how this website has actually said he lost against The Sun, not her, which seems to be a lot of media outlets now. They're like, oh, he lost to her in London. No, she won the party to it. She was literally nothing but a witness, and she lied her ass off. As for AH, she continues to be a part of Aquaman 2, despite losing the $50 million defamation trial. But looks like Warner Brothers has finally realised they were taking a huge risk and is now taking a step back. There have been numerous times now that rumours around her role in Aquaman 2 getting reduced made the rounds. Some even suggested that the studio was looking for an apt replacement and Game of Thrones actress Emilia Clarke was being considered. But Warner Brothers refuted all such reports and confirmed that Johnny Depp's ex-wife is very much a part of their film as she was initially planned. If you can cast your mind back as well to the actual trial last year, Walter Hamada himself, the DCEU president of everything back then, he was like, we were looking at actually thinking of recasting her because she has no chemistry with the lead actor. If your female lead actor, because she won the lead actor, we all know this, she was just someone who starred in it. The three main stars of the film was Jason Momoa, Yahya Abdin-Buttul II, and Patrick Wilson. They're the ones who were the main stars, because they're the good guys and the villains. She was just, basically, she was a female star in the film. She wasn't the co-lead, which she wants everyone to believe she was, but she wasn't. And when you have that and she hasn't got chemistry, even though they're meant to be like madly in love or fall in love or whatever, it's like, yeah, maybe she's not exactly the best person for the job. Walter Hamada himself as well said, we had to work extremely hard in post-production just to see if we could make something, which is absolutely hilarious. But as I say, it does say that obviously, as most know, The Flash has tanked at the box office, and one of the major reasons was the controversy surrounding Ezra Miller. Well, yeah. You have someone who's done all the rubbish that guy has done. You're enabling him. You're telling him, oh, it's fine, don't worry. You go and do all this horrible stuff. You still got a job with us. Guarantee you, if Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, or any other person did what Ezra Miller did, their career would be over. 1000%. It looks like they learned their lesson, and they're refusing to let the same fate be witnessed for Aquaman 2. The Momoa star has already spent $205 million in budget, and with the reshoots, it looks like a worrisome scenario now. The rumours have been sparked after Aquaman star Patrick Wilson allegedly confirmed the reshoot in his latest interview. As per Pop Topic, he said, I was with the Aquaman character just last week, which many thought was a hint that he's involved in the reshoots. More than likely he is, because the film is a buddy action comedy. Momoa and Wilson, they're the duo who are the buddy-buddy scenario. Indeed, Johnny Depp's victory in the last battle against her has turned out to be a significant loss even for the DCEU film. Aquaman 2 slated for the end of this year. Only time will tell if she is finally being replaced in Aquaman 2. But it's very interesting because obviously you got all of that, but then you think, with everything that's been going on, with how bad this movie possibly could turn out to be, post-editing Dan here, just been looking it up, they actually started filming in July of 2021. They finished that in December 2022, January of last year. James Wan, Patrick Wilson and Jason Momoa put up this photo, and that's when they said they stopped filming. Then they did reshoots in July of last year. Now they got more. Well, it wouldn't surprise me because a couple of weeks ago, a couple of like Cosmic News, comic book news and all this kind of websites, they actually put out there that it was another test screening and it didn't exactly get people hyped. And that was due to the lack of action sequences, which is kind of crazy because it's a superhero film. Superhero films, you expect action, not just melodrama for a superhero film. It doesn't really work. But seeing that, we do have this by here, which is from the end of last month, so about 2 weeks ago. Aquaman 2 director James Wan explains why DC fans should see the film. We're taking it to the next level. To be honest with you, when they announced that James Gunn was taking over and he's getting rid of everything, to be honest with you, I was like, is Aquaman 2 really necessary now? Because it's not. But obviously they filmed it, so they had to like, all right, we got to keep going forward. As you can see, the box office failure of The Flash has cast a very dark shadow over upcoming DC movie releases, Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2. The latter film is an especially serious peril, publicity-wise, as the launch of DC Studios and a total reboot of the DC movie franchise has made a lot of fans skeptical about whether Aquaman 2 is any more than the final cul-de-sac of Zack Snyder's DCEU era. Well, comicbook.com, Chris Killian got to sit down with James Wan, and they asked the question, what's the reason for seeing Aquaman 2? Does it even matter to the larger DC movie franchise? That is actually a very good question. A lot of people have had the same question because you don't need this film. Unless it literally ties into what James Gunn is doing, it's not going to work because James Gunn has said his Superman film is going to be the first film in his DC Studios work. So, straight away, with James Gunn saying that, of course, James Wan, you know, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love James Wan because of his horror films. He is so good at making them. But he said himself, Aquaman, even the first film, has always been a very standalone film. That was always our approach. Kind of lives in its own world. That's kind of how we've approached The Lost Kingdom. Sadly, no, because you've had Aquaman, Arthur Curry go in all the other films. You've had Mera appear in a couple of other films. Willem Dafoe, you know? So it's, to me, I think James Wan is just trying to save face for this movie because it literally is, right, okay, we need to make sure that people go and see this because we've spent over 200 million. We need to get some money back. So we have to say that it's a standalone film. But it's kind of not because obviously the characters are from a previous DC movie era. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. But with these reshoots as well, I can see them trying to put more action in and try and make it as best as they can. And to be honest with you, if they got rid of her, I think a lot more people would actually go and see the film. That's my opinion, and I think there's a lot of opinions as well. But that's what we got for that one there, ladies and gents. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see each and every one of you soon.